So lately I've noticed this war that goes on when a man decides to get married. I saw it recently with Casper Nyovest. I think he got married to another lady and not his baby mama. So I thought, let me come here and make 6 points, 6 things that I personally believe that a man who is going from being single to dating and then now getting married or deciding to get married decides towards getting married. Okay? Now, at these particular points, I want to be very clear. Someone would say, Ricky, you're not married, so you're not qualified. No, it's not a married person that qualifies for this. It's a person who's still looking to get married. Okay? And so, why? Because these are points you would be looking at. Okay, yes. Okay? So, I'm pretty much qualified for that. So, for the ladies there that are saying, Ricky, what qualifies you? Sexuality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos up on this channel. We speak about subject of church and doctrine and apologetical stuff. You understand? So this video, if you are here because you are just seeing men, you like things that men, or you're just there for that, just want you to be aware. We deal with Christian subjects. So 6 points. Okay, I'm gonna go through one and the other, and I hope I won't take too much time. You think about them now. To start a debate about this particular, now another person can put another list. Okay, so if you're a man, you can put other lists down. Ne? I'm not talking about things that hold a marriage. I'm talking about things that tell me I am with the right person. Okay, and so you can put others down in the comment section and stuff like that. These are personally the most important things that I see. First of all, fight resolution. Now, I want to be very clear here. Fight resolution, or by fight resolution, I mean the things when we have an issue between me and you, it's not spilling over now. It's this one now knows it, this one hears it and stuff. So I know it's our issues. Nah? Yes, we are talking about it because I know if you're not busy telling everybody else, I know you will definitely come back and we resolve it. Now, so that's a key. Another thing again is that in that whole thing of us having to resolve our issues, it mustn't always be like that. I must be the one that's always initiating thing. There's 2 people in that relationship. Both must have interest to have resolution. Having peaceful resolutions, it means that I can come back 20 minutes after we had an issue and say, hey, do you want to go eat? Because I have your best interest at heart. You understand? So that's what it says. Peaceful resolutions or having quick resolutions. It says that to me. It tells me we can live in the same house, have an issue now, and then 20 minutes later, when I say, hey, do you want to go and get something to eat? Because I have your best interest at heart. You're not going to be holding that, We can go and eat together and it'd be cool. You understand? And so that for me, it's a very important one. And so the man can grade this particular thing in the comment section. This is one thing that personally I also look at. How quick can we resolve? Okay, and also all parties must think it because we are together here. And so I might be a little bit raunchy on a certain subject. Raunchy is a bit of it's a bit too much, but I might be a little bit rusty on a certain subject, and so you might have to come. Sometimes the pride might get the best of the other party, so you must go. Must constantly be thinking. So we have things that we are interested in. Things that I'm watching, I always send over to the other side, so communication can go forward after we had an issue. Fight resolution for me is number 1. It takes the number 1 because I need to know that we're going to be able to resolve things and not be angry the entire week. It means we will have a peaceful environment. Now, trust me, that one is number 1 for a reason. It's number 1 because some people who are always pissed off, you can't hold it. They can't hold it forever. They can't hold it forever. Okay? And so them doing that after a certain period, they're just gonna snap, and then it's just gonna be like a continuous thing. So fight resolution is number 1 for me. Number 2, faith and interest. Dating outside of faith, for me, it's a no. Now, for me, there are people that I know who've dated out to the faith, and then they either eventually come to faith together or they just live peacefully like that. Okay, But for me, that's number one. And also it goes with hobbies. I'm interested in certain things. How do you take those things? Do you take them as serious part of my life, or you just want to dismiss everything? Okay. For example, I love airsoft. I love airsoft, and so airsoft for me, it's an important part, because I don't have too many things, but I have airsoft for me. So my hobbies and our hobbies, there is my hobbies, maybe you might like them later, but our hobbies, we have our hobbies, like things that we do together, like in interest thingy. I'm a person of faith 24/7. I talk about faith continuously. I don't stop on that one. So you would be absolutely miserable if you are not clear on that. That's point number 2. That's a very important factor there. Number 3, leeching. A person that's complaining even about buying bread. Like, I wish you were there to pay. Like, like those type of things when we are still in that phase, hating phase, determining thing. You can't even buy bread by yourself. Of course, I'm not dismissing people helping their partners and stuff like that and all, and so forth, or helping others just in general. I'm not dismissing that, but there is a leech. It's a completely different species of individuals that make it a duty to take whenever the opportunity, and so leeching for me, it just does not work. And now this area, some people, we have to be very clear. Some people, you have to work on your partner getting it, because some people, they don't get it. We must remember on all these points, some people just don't get it. You have to really bring it into your relationship. So as a guy, don't just dismiss and say, this one is like this. See if the person is teachable to adopt right morals when it comes to these things. Okay, so that's a very important one right there. Number 4, fighting the world through me. This is one that's extremely important. Something is happening in the world. You come to me. Hey, this man. Of course there is this man, which is a joke, right? And then we talk about it, we laugh about it and stuff. But then there is those ones who are political. They bring feminism into it. And they'll be inserting subject matters of, fighting the world through me. It's a very important one, Bazalan. I don't know how to ever emphasize it. They have an issue that they see that is very prevalent in the world. They bring it as if I must defend it, as if it's me. That's a very big problem, okay? You can't be fighting your spouse, who's not that, over subject matters that you see in the world, okay? And so, because it means that now, look at what it tells me as a person who's deciding whether I'm going to get married to this person. What it tells me is that not only do I have to fight the battles about the fights that we have, the two of us, it means anything can trigger you, and then you will start a fight about something else that has nothing to do with us. That's what it tells me. At the back of my head, I'm like, so I'm not just fighting our battles, I still gotta fight other people's battles. That's an uphill, man. You're making it difficult, okay? And so fighting the world through me, you can think about it. It might be a long list. Ne? I'm just listing them for you so you can go and think about it. So I don't need a person who's trying to fight the world, okay? They see a news story. We just got through our issues there. Now you're bringing a story about, so it's a very important one. I don't need a person who's trying to fight the world through me. And in everything that men are doing out there, it's almost as if I'm responsible. I'm also not talking about bringing an understanding, where a man can bring an understanding towards the woman at that particular point, and y'all have a nice and amazing conversation about it, okay? So, like for instance, couples that talk about things that they see, it's a healthy couple for me, because how are you just going to talk about, hey, how are you? So, you're okay. Okay. Then what? Also the things that you saw during the day, whatnot, and all those type of things. So those mingle up. So I'm not saying that conversation is not an important factor, but there are people that literally make it an issue to fight the world through you. It's impossible. They bring feminism into it. That's a losing battle, because it tells me that I'm never going to be through. Ngizohlale ngilwa nje, because I'll always, because now we have to argue like it's personal, but it's not. You have an issue with something that you saw in the world, so now you are taking that issue in the world and you're bringing it into our relationship. Haibo sisters coming down. And so that's another issue that a man would look at personally, that, you know what, am I just constantly in a fight because it's not even our issues now, it's now even other things. That's number 4. Number 5, before we go to the last one, period between our arguments. You know, if we have an argument every single day, you know, that's an issue, man. You know, because they peace, man. You know, peace is important. Peace is very, very important. So that matters. You know, that is a huge deal. Some people, you have like one fight in a month. You have one argument, and you know, it's not that big a deal. And so you are in a very healthy place. Okay, and so one of my friends once told me, Ricky, do monitor or do have your lady communicate the times of her periods, so that you can see if the issues arise during that time. And that was a very crucial thingy. So during that time, we are very careful, you know, because a lot of things can become offensive. It's very important that you note that, because if you are just having issues around that time, guy, you have it good. Relax. Relax. Okay. And so the time span, you know, if you're just not always, there's this issue, always, you know, it's either your interests just don't line up, or you're just not interested now together or something. I don't know. So that's another thing that a guy would look at to say, yeah, this one I could get married to, is to say, what is the span between our issues when we have issues? Now, number 6, which is the last one, separating her fights with ours. Now, this might sound like fighting the world through me. No, those ones, it's things that evolve around society. You know, she sees something particularly within the community, a man killed a woman, then it becomes, you know, it's like society things that she would bring, feminism, all those things, when you're bringing arguments that have nothing to do with us. Here, it's a different one. Ne? She would have maybe issues in her personal life. And then those, of course, they might mean that she's emotional and stuff. But her separating the fights that we have with other people is very important, because it means that we have an understanding on our ground. It's a very important one. We have an understanding on our grounds and where we stand. And so it doesn't always arise an argument when other people can't, basically, what this point says, separating between our fights, it means I can completely rely on that you're not going to hear something that's ridiculous, and you're just going to take that and then let it start a fight. You can separate that. There are people that just have issues with me, that you can separate their arguments with me, and me and you have a separate conversation. It's a very important one, because there are people that will just have an issue with your partner. And so can you separate that? That is not our fight. What does this mean? We go into a public space, someone starts a fight with you, and I'm the man, I'm supposed to come and be a protector. Yeah, the man is the protector, so and so, right? First off, I need you to understand that even if it does not look like in that situation, like I'm taking your side, I'm looking out for the both of us to say, are we safe here? Can we get out of here? Can I say, you know what, babes, let's just go, you know, without me having to justify whether you are right there or what, you know, without me starting a fight, another fight, or adding a fight. Can you separate that this is not an hour fight? Maybe you have an argument with someone and I'm just coming this to make sure that me, both, and you are safe. Because if it looks like that, I must be defending you there. And so you might be right, but being right at that point, it's not going to help us, because that person might be carrying a gun or they're a threat. And I'm trying to make sure that we are alive. Winning an argument is not important at that point. Can you separate that I am looking out for the best interests of our lives to get us out of there safely, without me starting another fight with that person, so they have an issue with me at the same time, and so they don't see me as a person who can bring resolution because you are with me, so that's important, separating thingy, because, and it comes out now. Someone would say, but Ricky, how would you know if a person is like that? How they take the fights that they're having in their personal life when it comes to my judgment on them. And so it's a lot to digest, but I hope this does kind of give you a footing. It's a lot to, but I want to be very clear. There's a lot to think about. Mina Angjoli now, I want to be very clear. You decide what you make of the things that I'm saying. Some people might think lightly about it. This means, you see these 6 points, I boil them down to these points because these mean we have a healthy household.